What's up? What up, Ramily? All right. Got a zero. Got a whopping 0 people here on the live stream. Turn those notifications on. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, we got one. We got one. Who's this? That didn't take long. That didn't take LT. What's up, man? How are you? Are you staying safe out there? With the ram. Yeah, man. Are you ramming it to the protesters? To COVID? Oh, no way. Where? What part of LA? That's right. Reserve, huh? Oh, let's see. Yeah, but what part? Oh, can't say. Okay. Well, LA County. Let's just say LA County. It's pretty big. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, are people chill, or are you just there because you have to be there? Yeah. Damn, dude. Stay safe, man. Make sure you're wearing your protection there. What? Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, LT, man, it's been a long time. Dude, it's crazy. And that's why I honestly, for Rams talk, I tried to stay out of it, just because I feel like, honestly, I just want some semblance of sports and something other than that. I really dig the new unis. I have to be honest. Like, okay, they have yellow, they've got blue, like it's like old school colors. I think bone is a pretty cool color. The helmets I think look pretty fresh, to be honest with you. The gradient, not a big fan of the gradient. Yeah. Are you talking about should unified people not divide? Are you talking about the uniforms or what's currently happening? I mean, people got a little too worked up about the uniforms. Like, I understand it's a big deal. Really? Yeah. I mean, the thing is that when you see, okay, first of all, they've been playing with that gold, white, and blue. Hey, Burr called it. Hi from Germany. Where in Germany? I'm in Germany. Right now it's 9:40 p.m. Wow. LT, did you know we have other German Rams fans here? Hell yeah. I'm in Hanover. And it's still light outside. It's like 9:40 and it's still light outside. It's crazy here. When you're that far north on the world. Black Forest, okay. South. Yeah. Awesome. Are you German or American? Yeah, I wanted to go to I had a ticket for the Bengals-Rams game, but then I couldn't go because of work. And it was a bummer because I was in London. That was like, an hour flight away. So super easy to go to. And now they're not going to be in London anymore. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, Germans are really getting into NFL these days. Like, I work with a couple German guys that one is a Niners fan, which is completely random. One is a Cardinals fan. Oh man, I wish I would have known. I would have hooked you up with a ticket last year, because I ended up going to waste. Like, I couldn't go and couldn't find anyone. It sucked. But and that was a Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup went off in that game in London. That was like a Cooper Cup record-breaking game. Yeah, new uniforms though. I think they're going to be sweet. I mean, last year, like I said, they had the blue, white, and gold, and like was that inspiring? And they would do those like throwback unis every once in a while. Yeah, Chargers. I actually like the Chargers when they're in San Diego. Like when the Rams were in St. Louis, the Chargers were kind of like my California team, like a complete distant second to the Rams. But I actually liked the Chargers. I thought they were fun. All right, man. It's LT. You stay safe. Make sure everyone's safe. Don't get the corona. And good hearing from you, man. Yeah. Hey, Rob. New uniforms. Yeah, I think the the gradient is really the only thing I think that they really missed on the uniforms. Other than that, like I said, yellow, blue, still same. Bone is pretty fresh. The helmets I think are cool. So I mean, I think the patches and everything. It's good. It's good. I think that my issue is like Rams fans that are pissed. Like there isn't a consensus uniform that all Rams fans would agree on, right? Some like the white and blue. Some like just take the same uniform they had in 1983 and like that. But you're not going to get all the Rams fans saying this is the one that we want. So, and also you got to, like freshen it up, right? I don't know if anyone here has tried to order any of the Ram stuff, but I tried ordering it even in the US so that my family could ship it out to me. Because in the NFL Europe website, it's all, except for the uniforms, the hats, the shirts, they're all old things that are trying to like sell out, like the sales stuff. So it kind of sucks. But July, like the new stuff wasn't shipping out until July. So I don't know if anyone else is having that problem about getting their hands on some of the new merch. But yeah. What am I doing in Hanover? Well, my wife is German, and we lived in LA for the longest time. I'm from LA, and we were living there, and we decided to move to Germany just to switch it up in life and, have a new experience. And I work at Sennheiser in Hanover. So we were in Berlin, and we just moved to Hanover. So, ja, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Ich habe 2 Jahre in Deutschland gelebt zwischen 2010 und 12, auch in Hanover. So there you go. Sorry, English speakers. That was a little German for Burkhalde right there. Yeah. So what has anyone else here tried to order Rams apparel? Any of the new stuff? Because I tried doing it, like I said, and it said it wouldn't ship until July, and that was just way too late for me. So I canceled the order. I think that's pretty whack. I mean, I guess maybe if it's because of Corona, but I mean, I don't know. Doesn't seem right. No, don't like it. I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL had games in Germany, but I don't think that's going to be for a while, to be honest. I mean, they really got to like settle on London, but like you said, I mean, so many Germans are really gravitating to the NFL because they're showing it on Sky and they're showing it on a lot of networks. So I think it's getting bigger. It'll probably happen eventually. I mean, it's just more money, more outreach. My dream uniforms based off the new branding would be white and blue with yellow based off the throwback Always and Deacon Jones era mixed in there. Yeah, Rob, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2021, because they're going to have another uniform in 2021 and one in 2022. I won't be surprised if the white and blue is one of those. I wouldn't be surprised if like the yellow color rush was also one of those. So, but I think the white and blue, I've seen some mock-ups on that and they look pretty awesome. August 7th. Oh, for when it was shipping, Carl by the ton. I like that handle. Yeah, I don't know what's taking so long for these things. Maybe they just didn't have enough. Okay, yeah. See, Rob, I tried. That was the one I wanted, the Rams head logo hat, and that's in July. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, you got yours way back. So I mean, you were on it though. Maybe they just had like a handful, and then they had to like produce a lot more. Maybe they didn't produce a lot. Yeah, the question 3, I think we can survive the first half of the season. I mean, honestly, being 500, there are 4 games that are going to be tough games, and that's going to be the first 3, which is Cowboys, Eagles, Bills, and then the 49ers. Those are the 4 games. So I think we can definitely go 500. But I think we'll win 1, if not 2, of those games against the Cowboys, Bills, Eagles, and Niners. Especially because even though the second 2 game or the second and third game are on the East Coast, we're staying there on the East Coast for about 2 weeks. So it's not like we have to come back to the West Coast, then go back to the East Coast. So they'll be chilling in either around Philly or somewhere around upstate New York. So they'll have that time to bond. But I mean, like, honestly, this whole team is a big question mark. I mean, you look at them and you think like, okay, they got it now. The O-line will be better. All these young guys, so many young guys have to step up. The all-white one is not your favorite. Which one is your favorite? Shindanu? Yes, the schedule is tough to start off the year because, you have Cowboys. Like, Cowboys, honestly, wouldn't surprise me if Cowboys made a Super Bowl. They've got talent, right? So that's a tough game, but I feel like the Rams are going to be ready to rock in SoFi, and I think the Rams are a better team this year. I think they're built better. I'm hoping the defensive consistency is better. Offensive line play would be better. Running back play will be better. Commitment to the run will be better. Different personnel, maybe more 12 personnel. Now you got Higbee rolling in there. So how is Ashawn going to be? How is Leonard Floyd and the other ends, Lewis and Obo, going to play? Like, do you think Obo would? Okay, everyone, Obo and Terrell Lewis, if they both split time at the same position with Leonard Floyd on the other side, do you think both of those guys can equal Dante Fowler's impact last year? I mean, I know Lewis is, he didn't play that many games in college, but he's a physical freak. If he didn't have an injury history, the dude is a first rounder. Obo, when he played last year towards the end, he was flashing. So I think Obo is ready to break out. I think both of those guys can, between them, get 10 plus sacks. So if they do that, then, that's like Dante Fowler minus $12 million. So, yeah, it's tough to start off the year. So that's the first 3 games are the tough stretch, and then the first 3 games after the bye are the second tough stretch. What's up, KD? The GOATs. KD, it's been a while, man. How are you? Who's my sleeper team in the AFC and NFC? Let's see. NFC, sleeper team. A lot of people want to say Cardinals, but they play in a tough division, so it's hard for them to really break out. I would say in the NFC, it could be, and we say sleeper, I would maybe say the Bears even, but they still have a lot of talent. That's tough. Carolina, maybe? Because if Teddy Bridgewater comes in and is average, then their defense should be pretty solid. They have McCaffrey. So Carolina could be a sneaky team. In the AFC, I'm going out there with this one. I think that the Dolphins are kind of sneaky, mainly because they didn't have a lot of talent last year, and they still got some wins, and they played hard. So they got the cornerback from Dallas, Tua, a bunch of other guys. So the Dolphins actually could be sneaky, and that division's crap. Let's be honest. Okay. All right. Glad I pronounced it right, Shindanu. I think, the numbers seem it's the gradient. If there's no gradient, I think a lot of Rams fans have a better, it sits better with them than the uniforms. But I feel like once we start seeing them in action and we start seeing the Rams kick ass with those uniforms, I think think we're going to be good. I think it's going to, it's just one of the, okay, I equate to this. So my wife is always coming up to me and saying like, I think we should do this. And I'm like, what? That's ridiculous. That doesn't sound good to me at all. Nope. And then like 3 months later, all of a sudden, like it's just been in my mind. And then I'm like, yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. And then I'm all for it. So a lot of times planting the seed. So once the uniforms, we've seen it, especially Bone's going to be sweet. I'm telling you, because, okay, who here was all in on the yellow color rush jerseys when you first saw them? Because probably 50-50. But after watching that Niners game on Thursday night where it was a high scoring game, and then after that Monday Night Football game against the Chiefs, now I got a special place in my heart for the color rush yellows, right? So it just kind of depends on how you associate that, what kind of memories or what that conjures. Yeah, Obo is hella underrated, and he's going to kick it. Like Obo, we've been waiting for Obo for a long time. Like a lot of these dudes, we've been waiting for, like Obo, the Note Boom. I know Boom's come back from injury, but like he should be off. Come on, Note Boom, Edwards, Evans, Corbett, Allen. Like these guys, we don't know what we're going to get. We're hoping that they are like, having a season or two, they should be ready to go. David Long, Greg Gaines now, Traven Howard, Micah Kaiser. So Micah Kaiser is in the same draft as Obo. So I'm hoping that, those two guys really like step up, because I'll tell you this, Micah Kaiser is not going to be Corey Littleton. But, we lost guys like Clay Matthews, Eric Weddle, and some other dudes who were like names. Like Brandon Cooks we lost, who was a name, didn't really have a good season last year. So I think some of these young guys are hungry and they're ready, and it's their time. Using a 4-3 more this year. Yeah, I think the defense is going to give different looks more often, and that's what Brandon Staley wants to do. He wants to mix it up. I think last year it's like, this is what we do, and everyone knows this is what we do. And so I think with a 4-3, it might be a little bit of a transition, because then you could have, it depends on who you're playing, right? So if you're playing the Niners or the Seahawks and they're going to be running it, so maybe you're really going full run stopping defensive line with Leonard Floyd as one of the defensive ends, right? But also it depends on how is Obo going to be. So then who do you have on your pass rush defensive end? So that's a good question. We have yet to see. KD has been a day one supporter. By the way, guys, this is a big moment, because I finally reached 1,000 subscribers. I took 6-7 months off because I moved to Europe and it was crazy, and I have a couple kids. But I'm just, honestly, I love doing this. I was about to say it's a lot of hard work, but it's not hard because I love doing it. I don't want to think people like KD and a lot of the old school subscribers and members of the community that have been there. So for everyone watching this that's been with Rams Talk for a long time, and even if you jumped on board recently, thank you so much. Like, honestly, this is like my second family. So this means the world to me. So thank you so much. And KD, it's awesome seeing you. So thank you for showing up to this live stream. And yeah, I'm hoping to bring more content, because with Corona, little side note here. So I live in Germany, socialist government. Because of Corona, my company, I work for a major company. They put everyone on short work, which means that you work 60% of the time, but the government kicks in money. So I get actually paid 87% of my salary to work 3 days a week. I have 4 days off every week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that's why I've been able to spin this channel back up, because I've been able to have time to do it. So anyone who says socialism sucks, it's a pretty sweet deal right now, I'll tell you. Not complaining. Do I think Higbee and Everett will perform to an all-pro level? Everett, if he can stay healthy. Higbee showed he can in the final 5 or 6 contests that he can produce on an elite level. So I think when Higbee started, emerging, you saw targets from Cup and Cooks go down dramatically. But now Cooks is gone. So even though, everyone's like, oh, Cooks is gone, but it's up to number 83, Josh Reynolds, to step up, and now we got Van Jefferson. But, I mean, Tyler Higbee's performance in those last, 5-7 games was record-breaking. I can't remember all the stats, but, it literally was record-breaking. He already set the single-season record for receiving yards by tight end in Rams history. That's pretty crazy. You don't even think about that because it just kind of happened so late. It wasn't this consistent thing. So I think his emergence made the Rams more comfortable with letting Cooks go because he just – it's like in basketball when you have 5 all-stars on a team, there isn't enough basketballs to go around or shots for everyone. So I think Everett, everyone's talking about Everett being a trade chip, but honestly, I look at the Rams offense. Woods, Cup, Reynolds, Jefferson, Higbee, Everett, Akers, Henderson. Then you throw Brown, Munt, maybe another guy in there. And those are weapons. You can do mix and match and have all kinds of crazy schemes going on with those guys. So Hopkins, the new tight end. So that allows McVay and O'Connell to just go crazy with their imagination and how they deploy this and all kinds of formations. If the offensive line cannot be the second to last offensive line in football, if it can be top 15, I'm not even asking for top 5, but top 15, then the Rams are going to be awesome. Then I'm not worried about them. But I think Higbee probably has the better shot just because I think he's a better blocker. But I think the sky's the limit with Higbee and Everett. But at the same time, with Everett, it just comes down to how much is he trusted and how many footballs are they going to throw around. So, are they going to go with the 13 personnel? I don't know what that is with 3 tight ends. That'd be fun. Will there be a season? For a while, I didn't think there was, but I really do think there will be. I think what I'm actually looking forward to seeing is in another week and a half to see how many corona cases have spiked in the U.S. because of the protests, to see if that actually kind of takes us back a bit. But, if we're talking about September, so hopefully the summer helps with the downward spiral of corona. I think I think people can go to games, especially in outdoor places like a baseball game or a football game, wear a mask and it'll be okay. That's what I think. But in California, it seems a little more strict than other states. But I think there will be a season. And even if they have to start a few games later, they just tack those games onto the end of the season. And the Rams have a line. So I think every week 2 opponent for every team shares their bye week. So the Rams and Eagles play each other in week 2. And they both have the week 9 bye. So if they start the game in week 3, then they'll play the Eagles in week 9, and then they'll play the Cowboys as their last game. So the Rams schedule is actually, in terms of cold weather, warm weather, it's very good. It's advantageous. The Rams have played all their cold weather teams during the warm months. But if they have to tack on Philly and Buffalo to the end of the schedule, then they're playing in January and they're screwed. So, let's just hope that for all kinds of reasons, the season starts on time. That means people are healthy. That means we play those teams during warm weather, and we're good. But I feel a little bit reassured that it's going to start on time. But what I was just thinking is when football starts, it's going to be all about the national anthem. It's going to be all about what are teams and players and coaches and everyone doing on the national anthem. So fun times there. Oh, wow. Okay, I need to go through this faster. Sorry, everyone. The new uniforms and that color rush is fire. Yeah, the blue. I'm a fan, KD. I think I love the new uniforms too. Just not the gradient. Okay. Josh Rosen is a backup. Actually, that's a pretty cool idea. I've never thought about that. I think Rosen would be, he's still on his rookie contract, so he doesn't cost a lot. People have been talking about Cam Newton as a backup, but that's just going to be locker room, like always going to be talking about if Goff makes a mistake, it's going to be Cam Newton. So why not? Why not have Rosen as a backup? Rosen just needs some love. That's all he needs. Morgan Fox. Morgan Fox, they brought him back. Morgan Fox actually had a good year last year. So I'm a big fan of Morgan Fox. They will be the surprise team of the year. Everyone is overlooking us. I agree with that. That's actually probably the answer of my sleeper team in the NFC. Nick Wright on TV, he had the Rams going 5-11. It's like, really, 5-11? Who are the 11 losses? That's just BS. I think the Rams 10-6. Just playing it safe, but they can go more than that. But just trying to be as objective as possible. You think we need Cam as a backup? That would be a good name. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Cam can play, obviously, but what if Goff starts the season slow? I don't think the Rams can mess with Goff because they are locked into Goff until 2022. They cannot get out of that. Goff is the Rams starting quarterback unless he gets injured, no matter what, until 2022. So Cam Newton would really just be insurance for injury. And Goff has played every game, knocking on wood. So, I mean, as much as that would be cool, yeah, not a big fan. Cam Newton, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but the dude has the smallest ears I've ever seen in my life. It's kind of like Shrek. I'm not kidding. Look up a picture of Cam Newton and look at those baby ears he has on his head. Just saying. I think we improved too. I mean, listen, last year we were a missed field goal away from the playoffs. A lot of players had down years. Like a lot of players had their worst season. Havenstein had his worst year. Cooks had a crappy year. Who else on the offensive line had a bad year, right? Eric Weddle, I mean, whatever. Clay Matthews was injured, whatever. But yeah, John Johnson was injured for most of the year. So, I mean, Zerline missed a lot of field goals. He had a pretty bad year. So I think they could do. I think they could definitely be the surprise team. I do, Jim. Have I not responded to your comments? Like on videos, or are you talking about in this text thread? Yeah, I do reply to comments. I'm good at that. Yeah, Pineapples. The DBs are going to play different positions. Apparently, Jalen Ramsey played safety his sophomore year at FSU. So, I mean, everything is mix and match. Burgess, the new guy they brought in, can play nickel. He can play in the box. He can play, safety. He can play out there. David Long, is he going to play nickel? Is he going to play outside? So these DBs are going to be mixing and matching. I think that's pretty cool. It's all about versatility. I mean, you hear that, but you're seeing what they're doing. It's all about versatility. Cam would give us a good QB room. Do you mean that? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Cam would be a kind of a dick because he's an MVP, still not out of his prime. So, yeah, I fled the U.S. Last year. It was a long time in the making. My wife is German, and I lived in Germany many years ago. And I just California was getting too expensive for me. And if it wasn't for my family, I mean, my family was really keeping me there for a long time. But be honest with you, I kind of live out in the countryside now. I have a room that I can turn in my Rams Talk studios. I just bought a case of beer today for $10, 24 beers for $10. I mean, that's a good thing. Bratnik. I keep saying Bratnik. What's up? Man, Bratnik he's all in my comments. Bratnik really wants me to talk about the undrafted free agents. I will get to that, Bratnik. I haven't forgotten. Just be patient, my friend. We still have a lot of time before the season starts, and nothing's happening. No OTAs, nothing. It's all virtual stuff. So I have a lot of time to kind of dig into some weird stuff. I still really want to go over the Jalen Ramsey trade because I wasn't on the air making videos for that. And that's very interesting to me because it's the draft capital they gave up. It's the like how his salary is going to affect everything that they do. It's why didn't they just trade for Darius Slay for like nothing instead of Jalen Ramsey? So anyways, kind of rabbit hole there. So let's see. Oh yeah, hey, the question 3. We have a new subscriber. The question 3. The question 3 might have been Mr. 1000. So hey, the question 3. Thank you very much for help pushing me over the edge. Yeah, what do you think about the new draft prospects? Let me know. Yeah, Akers was a high school quarterback. That could also be crazy. I mean, like they show some plays where he was, they had a couple trick plays at his time at FSU. He was dropping dimes. It's like now you have Johnny Hecker and Cam Akers as the backup QBs. Do you think Everett won? Okay, Borotnik, your question got cut off. I don't know what you want me to talk about with Gerald Everett. Yeah, so for me, to be honest, and this will be another episode, but it all comes down to Goff. This is the year that Goff has to step it up, right? Like no more the offensive line was bad, or the running game wasn't there, and it was all on his shoulders. It's like, dude, you gotta. If you're the man, if you're like one of the top 15 highest paid players in the world, you got to act like it. Okay. You got to shut people up. Last year, he was not accurate. I mean, he missed throws all the time. Yeah, he had people in his face. I mean, I'm not going to say the offensive line didn't play a part in that, in his having a down year. He turned the ball over 21 times. Unacceptable. 16 interceptions. Basically, interception a game, passer rating down to 86. He had about the same amount of yards as he did the year before in 2018, but he was way off in terms of accuracy and decision making. So this is, I'm not going to defend Goff forever. So yeah, you're right. We got to light the fire. Reynolds and Everett will be trade bait next year. Well, possibly, yeah. I mean, it depends, though, because I don't think those guys would give the Rams a big return, to be honest. And also, I think that you need depth because you have to figure that some guys are going to get injured, right? So, like, what if Cooper Kupp goes down? You're going to need Josh Reynolds and Van Jefferson and Everett. So, Everett was injured for, I don't know, a good 5 games at least last year. So, maybe the depth can really help the Rams. It's good to have those guys waiting in the wings. Shindano, yeah, okay, gotta go, man. You probably didn't see me say this, but gotta go. No, I don't gotta go, but thank you for showing up, Shindanu. If you're still here, I appreciate it. Thanks. Alabama just had 5 players test positive with COVID. Whoa, damn! Like the Alabama Crimson Tide. Dang. That sucks. Hopefully they get better. Side note, I got tested on last week. See if I have antibodies. I'll find out on Monday. Hopefully I already had the COVID and didn't even know it. I'll let you guys know. Very important stuff in Rams world. Yeah, KD, it's always a good chat. Like, here's the thing. People want to talk sports. People want to talk the Rams. Like what's going on? What's the coverage? So that's why I'm here. I'm always checking all the Rams stuff. So, is this a good time? I would like to do more live streams. So Saturday or Sunday, which day is better? And what time is everyone here? Pacific time, Eastern time, Midwest? So let me know. And if you have any suggestions of when you would like to see live streams and you want to be in there, any specific questions you want to let me know beforehand, let me know on Twitter at Real LA Rams Talk, or on a comment on one of my videos here. Chosen Rosen's 44-10 comeback. I did not forget about that. That was pretty epic. I actually watched that game, and you know, when Rosen was at UCLA, I thought he threw like the best ball in college. I really did. And then he went to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals were terrible, and he was getting killed. He had no one. He had nothing. It was tough, right? I don't think they gave him a chance. And then he goes to Miami, and he's on like the worst team again. It doesn't have a chance. If you put Josh Rosen on the Bucks, right? I mean, he's probably not going to be an MVP, but he'd be a lot better. So I feel bad for Rosen, to be honest, but I'll take him as a backup. Pineapples. We are really being disrespected, and that's cool. That's cool. People think our window is over. I think they just don't know. However, there are a couple guys that I've heard that respect what the Rams did in the offseason. So I think what the Rams did in the offseason is they let go of names. And those names didn't really perform well last year. Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, for whatever reason. Weddle. The only guy that they let go of, or two guys that they let go of that I thought, you know, hey, I'd love to still have those guys. Number one is Littleton. I think we'll miss him. He was a playmaker. He was one of the top linebackers in all of football. So it sucks that we didn't keep Littleton. And Fowler, because Fowler produced. Say what you will, Fowler produced. Granted, he was like, it was in bunches. Like he would have a game of like 2 sacks and then nothing for a couple of games. But outside of that, it was just names. We lost names. And I think we will have guys that are more productive this year across the board. So I think there's one thing that is still a mystery is who's kicking. Kind of an important deal, right? Who's kicking? We have 3 dudes. So there's another Rams Talk episode, guys, the kicking game. So, yep, it's a prove-it year for Goff and Coachable. Okay, it's a prove-it year in the sense that this is going to be Goff's 5th season. Well, like he's played 3.5 years. So this is going to be his 4th full year. And then he's got, like, there's no more BS in here. McVay, I think McVay, by getting O'Connell and really change, like now McVay's been in the league long enough as a head coach, he kind of knows what he needs and what he wants and where he wants to go. But having an offensive coordinator, that other voice, someone else to kind of save him from himself when he gets a little too, I guess, stuck in his way, I think is going to be a good thing. So at the end of the day, we've been to the playoffs 2 out of 3 years with McVay. So I think he's bought himself a lot of time. Rams should sign Kaepernick. You know, listen, so here's the deal. When Kaepernick did what he did, I didn't get it at first because that's not my life experience. I understood what it meant later on, but I hated Colin Kaepernick already because he was on the Niners. And so it was just also kind of hard for me to like see past the Niner thing. I think if Colin Kaepernick can still play, he should. But he's going to bring so much distraction, right? And so it's how much of that are you willing to put up with? And I think that's what teams are really weighing at. Yeah, he can still play, but do you want that? Do you want the spotlight on that, taking away from everything you're trying to do? That's just tough. That's a tough deal. I mean, if everyone was like, okay, we're just treating this whatever, Colin Kaepernick's on a new team, then yeah, I'd get over the fact that he was on the 49ers. I could handle that. So I just don't want that. I want the Rams to be laser focused. Love Akers, me too. Me too. Some guy, if you go on YouTube, some guy did a breakdown of Cam Akers and his running schemes at Florida State and how he broke down certain defense. So if you just type in like Cam Akers analysis, maybe you can find it. Really good stuff. I recommend that. But I think Cam Akers is going to be a stud. Very happy about that. And it was an offensive line issue last year. Like it really was. I mean, Whitworth even was getting rocked, right? So hopefully Whitworth can hold up to the younger edge rushers. Like they play Chase Young, you know, Nick Bosa twice. So how's that going to go? So hopefully that was just some aberrations last year because I don't think Rob Havenstein is that bad. Blythe will be an upgrade at center. So I think, Larry Warford, I don't think they're going to go for Warford because I think it's salary. and I think it's I'm pretty sure the Rams look at the development of their young offensive linemen as a positive. Like they've done a good job and they're going to get their chance, because at some point in time you got to play these guys and see what they got. Although Larry Warford would make me feel a lot better. Steelers game was his worst game this season. Are you talking about his worst game this season? Last season, McVay as a coach. Hope test calm. Borotnik, what does that mean? You love Goff when he's on fire. That Chief game is my favorite game. Oh yeah, Chief game was great. I was there. I was actually at that game. And that was just a magic moment, because that was coming off of fires that were happening, the shooting in Thousand Oaks area. So that was just like an emotional game and just a super roller coaster. So, yeah, Goff was awesome that time, that year, actually. Hope tests come out. Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you. I hope it does too. I hope I actually had it, because if I had it, then that means I'm close to immune. So hoping I had it. Okay, Saturday. So we use Saturdays for the live stream. Okay. Yeah, but what about leading up until Saturday? Because I think we can use this time leading up to the season, especially to just shoot the shit, talk about whatever with the Rams. But Saturdays, I think when the season starts, let's do it. I'm down. I'm 9 hours. If you're on the West Coast, I'm 9 hours ahead. So right now it's 10:18 p.m. for me. The question 3, excited to see our new offensive defensive coordinators mash with Coach McVay. Most importantly, we've got versatility at every position. I would like to see a dual threat tight end center offense. We definitely will see that. And then with Hopkins. So I think, Hopkins is insurance for when Everett's contract is up after the season. But, you got Munt in there. So I think maybe you'll see Munt on more with Higbee or Everett or Hopkins on more running plays. But I think Munt also has to catch the ball, because if every time Munt's in there and it's a running play, then the defense will know that, key in on that. So we'll definitely see more 12 personnel for sure. Yeah, I'd love to have Larry Warford compete in training camp to give us a barometer of where our guys are. Yeah, it just depends on how much. Getting that 5.5 whatever back from Gurley is great, but they still have to sign the rookies, so that's gonna take a lot of money. There's also one of another Rams talk episode. I need to write this down because I'm forgetting it all, but would be talking about the Rams salary cap and how that affects going into next year, because they still have an ace in the hole in restructuring Aaron Donald's contract. So if they do that, then they can afford Ramsey and sign the rookies and everything. But then there's Cooper Kupp. What are we going to do with that? So, yep. Let's see. Yeah, but if Larry Warford wants to just come in for $1, like why the hell not? Like seriously, if we had Warford at, I don't know, left guard, right guard, that would be, then we have a lot of options. But there's a lot of offensive linemen on the roster, so we'd have to cut someone. I don't know who that would be. He came out his junior year. Are you talking about Cam Akers? Because he did. 10-4, exactly. Okay, Brodnick, thank you. Distraction is a bad choice of words. Distraction. What do you mean? Oh, nice upped. Distraction is a bad choice of words. Okay, with Colin Kaepernick. When I say distraction, I'm just talking about like media circus, not a distraction from what's happening in the world, but media circus. Like honestly, it's not about what happened with what he stood for, but Cam Newton would be a distraction. Dennis Rodman was a distraction. There are a lot of players that you just look at like what they're bringing, just the presence being there. Do you want to take the focus off of what you're trying to do on Sundays? So if you think that it would not be a distraction, do you think it wouldn't? Do you think everyone would still just be laser focused on Sundays? So maybe it would wear off. But here's the question. Can Kaepernick still perform? Still, I mean, I don't know. Can he? I mean, how long has it been? 3 years? So, I mean, I think when his last year with the 49ers, before he was kneeling, was it? Gosh, it's a blur. But, he just wasn't the same guy. I think the league had kind of figured Kaepernick out. Anyways, Colin was a 49er. And yeah, he was a 49er. It's kind of gross, right? Like, I wouldn't want Jimmy Garoppolo on the Rams. Sorry. I'm trying to think if there's a 49er I'd want on the Rams. I mean, like, who wouldn't want Kittle or Bosa? But it's still a 49er. Like when the Dodgers would sign ex-Giants players, like Jason Schmidt, guys, I'm just like, why are we taking Giants? Come on. It's NFC West. Yeah, we had been blessed with good-ass running backs. You know who I thought was like one Rams running back that gets totally forgotten is Jerome Bettis. So Jerome Bettis was drafted by the LA Rams back when I was a kid. And so I remember like Chris Miller was the quarterback. Jerome Bettis was like the only dude on the Rams offense. And it was just like he was getting the ball like 30 rushes a game. He played like one fewer season than Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson's like Mr. Ram, which hey, I love ED. But Bettis played one fewer season and like no one talks about that. Like he existed on the Rams. Granted, he didn't have prolific seasons on the Rams like ED had. But yeah, I think, can Cam Akers pass block? And can Darrell Henderson pass block? And can he pick up the offense quickly with the virtual thing? So, yeah. Let's see. Losing to the Cowboys last season upset me so much after a win against the Seahawks blowout. Yeah, that Cowboys game was garbage. It was just like that. To me, that was like this season is over because the Rams were like this, and you're just like, yeah, you're all in, and then you're like, this is the worst team I've ever seen. So that Cowboys game, I mean, it was just like that was rough. That was rough. Yeah. I know. Hey, Michael, I get you. Like, I just wonder how much if Warford is super cheap, then why not? Because the O-line has to be better. It has to be. So if Warford is a significant upgrade over anyone else at guard, then I'm for it. And he's cheap, I'm in. So yeah, like why not kick the tires on that? There's a weird reason. Like, why isn't anyone signed Warford right now? That's kind of weird. Kaepernick is trash. I stand with him on his stance, but as far as football goes, he is trash. Yeah. That sums it up. I'm with you. I hated Colin Kaepernick so much as a 49er player. Okay. So I don't think he's going to play, and it sucks. I feel like they passed the point. Even considering what's going on now, and everyone's like, oh man, we were wrong about that. I think it's past the point. I don't know. So we'll see. Thank you, Nice Up. Yeah. And, that was something with Kaepernick at first. I didn't get it. But I since came around because and that's the thing now. Like I try and tell people who don't get it, like why he's doing it. It's not because he hates the military. And that Anyway, Zach Stacy, Trey Mason, LOL. Okay, Zach Stacy. I had it like 5 years ago. Whenever Zach Stacy was on the Rams and he had that good season, my fantasy football team had 3 keepers, and my keepers were trash. I had Aaron Rodgers, but I had no one else. So I kept Zach Stacy and CJ Spiller, like worst ever. And I mentioned that on Twitter, and Zach Stacy liked it. And then I felt terrible because I pretty much called Zach Stacy terrible. But I didn't mean that because I liked Zach Stacy. But yeah, Trey Mason. Whew. Oh, Susanna Loomis, best sports channel ever. You know what true love is when you're in one room of the house and your wife is in another room of the house, and she logs into your live stream and comments. That's true love, guys. Right there. That's why I moved to Germany for that. And she's pretty hot too. But it's more about the love. Hope she's not watching this anymore. Maybe our arch nemesis can unite the country. Yeah. Colin Kaepernick as a dude, rock and roll. Like, he was on it. If you can't do it peacefully, and then you can't go in the streets and protest, then what can you do? Either you're with taking a knee on the grass, or you're with taking a knee on the throat. What are you on? What are you with? Like, right? It would be nice if we could restructure Donald's contract or something. Alex, we definitely will. When the time comes, we will restructure Donald's contract. And we'll probably change the base salary to a minimal amount and then restructure it as like backloaded and bonuses and those type of guarantees. That's kind of our ace in the hole. That by doing that, that'll allow us to sign Jalen Ramsey. So basically the restructure of Donald will help us with Ramsey. In terms of Cup, in terms of John Johnson, I'm not quite sure. It's very hard for me to think that the Rams could ever let go of Cooper Kupp. To me, he feels like a Ram all the way. I feel him and Goff have got the connection. And I mean, Cooper Kupp had over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns last year. He had a better season than Odell Beckham Jr. Right? So Cooper Kupp is maybe I can't comprehend the fact that he might leave. So anyway, yeah, Stacy liked it on Twitter. Yeah, he was he's a good, and then I had I replied to him and said like, oh no, hey, I loved you and I was hoping you'd work out, and I still don't understand why aren't you even in the league, Zach Stacy? Like, you were great, But by that time he was just like, haha. But he's a coach somewhere, or assistant coach, something. He's involved with football, so that was good to see Zach Stacy. So I'm still wondering, like, why didn't Zach Stacy have any more years left in football? He had a pretty solid year. I think they already restructured Goff's contract. So I think that cat out of the bag. I'm trying to think who else they could figure it out with, but it's going to be tough because John Johnson and Cooper Kupp. So who knows? Any linebackers I like to add from free agents? I don't really know who's out there. I have to take a look. I mean, if Micah Kiser, number one, has to stay healthy. If he does, then I feel good about that. Traven Howard is a little more mobile, more sideline to sideline. So maybe Troy Reader, Natrez Patrick. Is it Natrez? Yeah. Yeah, but the linebacker is like a position I wish they would just really address in the draft. Clay Johnston, right? So who knows? I mean, like, here's the thing. They found a Corey Littleton. Now, you're not going to always just find Corey Littletons every 4 years off the street, but it does happen. Like, they get undrafted free agents, late round picks. These guys always like rise to the top, or not always, but you see it. So hopefully one of those guys on their roster really make it happen. But I'm going to look into the undrafted free agents and see who's still out there, even just as free agents, in a subsequent episode. Yeah, our middle linebackers really don't know much about Kiser. So Kiser was his strength is run stopping. So think of him. He can really plug the holes and diagnose runs. He's also one of the smarter players on the Rams team, and so they give the person who calls out the plays the green dot, and so it was Littleton 2 years ago, and then they wanted to take the pressure off of Littleton, so they gave it to Weddle. But you really don't see someone in the secondary calling out the defensive plays. It's more of a linebacker position, but Kaiser's going to be that guy. He was like an academic All-American. He's a really smart dude, and he had a really awesome career at Virginia. And so I think Kaiser, if he stays healthy, Kaiser will be happy with that. Because also you look at the Rams' opponents, and I feel like the Rams built their roster in the offseason around really containing running games. I wouldn't surprise me to see the Rams be top 15 in run defense. However, that's going to be tough because they're playing really good running teams like San Fran, Seattle, 4 games right there. They need to stop the run. So I've got Leonard Floyd, who excels more against the run and even dropping in coverage. You have Brockers, Ashawn Robinson, Gaines, Sebastian Joseph Day. So those guys, even Samson Ebukam is also really good against the run. So I feel like their run defense is gonna be better. You know, they play Zeke, they play Saquon. So Kenyon Drake a couple times. I'm missing a couple guys. Yeah, but you know, I think their run defense will be good. So Traven Howard didn't play a lot, but he started coming on later in the season. And Troy Reader got a lot of reps. Yeah, but the linebacker still is a huge question mark. A fair point. Reynolds will be the key going forward. I think he will have a great season. Robert Woods may be the odd man out long term. Yeah, that's kind of weird because Robert Woods, the reason why Robert Woods will, I think, not be the odd man out is only because he does everything well. You know, he's great blocking, runs great routes. He's a possession guy, so third down over the middle, he'll catch it in traffic. Reynolds, we'll see how he does with the deep ball, right? I feel like Reynolds is going to be their deep ball guy. But Goff has to get accurate on that. And Goff has to – I mean, last year he didn't see many deep balls. And the one that he did throw to Josh Reynolds was called back against the Bears. So, I mean, Reynolds is always – I feel like he's stepped up. So he just needs to get some shine. So I would like to see Reynolds get some shine, to be honest with you. So maybe you have Woods and Reynolds on the outside and Kupp in the slot. That'd be pretty good. Let's see. Nathaniel, 7th rounder Clay Johnson starts slow in special teams, then takes off week 6+. Yeah, I could see that. You know, I think you're going to see around the NFL a lot of rookies have a slow start and then once they kind of get adjusted to the game speed. But Clay Johnson, like that guy, he was on pace to have a hell of a season. What was he, Baylor? He was on pace to have a hell of a season before he got injured. So also, I mean, he's coming back from injury. So having week 6 could be the time where he's up to speed and everything. But yeah, on special teams, he's going to be making a mark. So I'm excited for Clay Johnson. I think that guy can surprise. You know, here's the thing. This is what's so funny. Like every time you go into a draft and the Rams, your team takes like 4 guys you've never heard of before, but we're all like at this point in time, like, yeah, he's going to be the guy, because we're just so pumped on him. And, obviously Rams fans, what are you going to do? But I have high hopes for Clay Johnson. And I think he did slip under the radar because he was injured at the end of the season. So no combine, no Senior Bowl, none of that stuff. Desmond, it feels like the Rams this year, more so than previous years, are really hinging on the success of this year's draft class. Which rookie do you see having the biggest impact right away? Terrell Burgess / Cam Akers. I think it's going to be a combo. So in defense, Terrell Burgess, because I think he's a plug-and-play guy. Whereas Terrell Lewis, I think it's going to take some time for him to get up to speed and play a lot. He hasn't played a lot. But on the offensive side of the ball, it has to be Cam Akers. So Cam Akers definitely will be involved from day one. So, I mean, he's there to be, I think, their lead back. And then, Terrell Burgess, which I think is one of those guys. Like Van Jefferson, I would say, if there was a clear starting position open. What I liked about this draft class is, especially with Van Jefferson and Terrell Burgess, is that McVay got two guys that he doesn't have to worry. And even the safety out of Ohio State, missing his name right now. They drafted guys that they don't have to worry about coaching up so much. It's kind of like, you already know the deal. You know, you're a smart player. You've been around games since you were a kid, whatever. Like, we don't have to like worry about you so much. So I'd say Cam Akers on one side, Burgess on the other. Good question, Desmond. Nathaniel. CB2 going to be fun to watch between Troy Hill and Darius Williams. Yeah, I agree. You know, you look at Pro Football Focus and their cornerback grades for last year, and Troy Hill and Darius Williams were like top 25. Like they were ranked higher than Jalen Ramsey, which is weird. And like sometimes you take it with a grain of salt because, you know, they didn't play a full season. They weren't matched up against number ones. But Troy Hill, remember when Troy Hill was like in the doghouse? And last year, Troy Hill had like a really good year. And then Darius Williams also had a great year. And Dion Dayton, oh, gosh, man, it's 10:40. It's been a long day. But you know what I'm saying? Who I'm talking about. It's weird. I've kind of taken my eye off the ball with CB2 because I kind of feel like between Troy Hill and Darius Williams, like we're gonna be good. But that's a battle still, you know, because you think about it. One of those guys is going to start. Then most likely Burgess or Long are going to be in the nickel. So then the other third one's going to be out for dime package. So I feel really good about our secondary. Basically Ramsey, Hill / Williams, Burgess / Long in the slot. Taylor Rapp, John Johnson. John Johnson was out last year and Rapp was a rookie. So the safeties are going to be much improved. Darius Williams could be a starter in the next 1 to 2 seasons. He has performed amazingly. He has. And that's great. I mean, I really like the kind of under the radar guys that the Rams have at cornerback. So Darius Williams, he was good in the preseason too. So like that's, you know, he earned it. There are a lot of guys that deserve to start that don't. So I feel good about our secondary. Dakota Allen was supposed to be the guy last year. Yeah, Dakota Allen. You know, I thought Dakota Allen was just going to be a special teams guy. I didn't view him as like Clay Johnson. I feel like he is more of a little more versatile or dynamic compared to Dakota. Yeah, and you know, Dakota had a little bit of that baggage, but I mean, you can't. Yeah, Jordan Fuller. Yes, that's who I was thinking about. Jordan Fuller is going to come in and make a good impact on special teams at least. And I don't think he's a guy that they have to, you know, coach up too much. Like he kind of comes in ready to go. You know, he was a team captain at Ohio State. That says a lot. Mature. Strength of schedule is not in our favor early on. How many games do you think we need to win through 8 games? I think if the Rams come out of the first 8 games 5-3, then I think we're solid, right? So they could lose any one of the first 3 games. They could lose them all, right? Like, let's just be real. You know, we want to say the Rams are way better, but you know, they're not way better than Cowboys or Eagles or Bills? Are they even better than those 3 teams? You know, I think they're better than the Bills just because quarterback play. Bills have a better defense. Bills' offensive line isn't great. Eagles, we have to beat the Eagles. You know, last couple of seasons, haven't beaten the Eagles. Cowboys could go to the Super Bowl. Eagles could go to the Super Bowl. Bills could win their division. So if the Rams get out of the first 3 games 2-1, I'm happy. Washington won't be easy. They go on the road to play at Washington, and then they come back and play at San Francisco. Those are 2 games that are going to get beat up, man. Like Washington's front is legit. San Francisco, we all know about that. So the Rams, to me, have to win the games they're supposed to win. So last year, the Tampa Bay game was a game they should have won. Going into that game, they look like that's a problem with last year. There were games that they went into those games and they were flat. That Tampa Bay game, it's like third quarter, halfway through the third quarter, it's like, oh yeah, we're playing football today. That can't happen. So they have to show up. Even against the Pan. I mean, last year just seemed like the Rams never really got on track. There were games, individual games, where you're like, oh, there they are. And then they play the Steelers and lay a freaking egg. So I'd say beat the Giants, beat the Redskins, beat the Dolphins, beat the Bears, and beat one of those 4 teams that are tough. And I think the Rams are looking good. Because then they're 5-3 going into their bye. Home game against Seattle, away game, Monday night game against Tampa Bay. Come back, play San Francisco at home. Those 3 games are going to be tough. They could beat Seattle and Tampa Bay. Boom, 7-3. And then the only other game, and then they probably could lose to San Fran again, and then Seattle again. I think they can beat the Cardinals twice. Jets, Pats. Pats aren't doing it for me this year. I'm sorry. We'll see, but I'm not feeling Pats. But yeah, ESPN's FPI Football Power Index has the Rams with the 5th toughest schedule compared to the 49ers. 49ers, like they play us after their bye later in the season after we're coming off a Monday Night Football game. I want to say, like, they're before we play them the first time, they're playing like the Jets and the Dolphins before us. It's like, come on, really? It's kind of a joke. How do I feel about Tremaine Ingram? Something's got to be said for guys that play in the he was at ACC for Clemson, right? But playing big-time games, right, on an offensive line where the quarterback's not getting touched ever. Granted, it's college, but Ingram's sneaky good. But, that's the thing. Going back to Michael's point about Larry Warford, is offensive linemen, here's what we have. We have Whitworth. We have Havenstein. We have Evans, Edwards, Corbett, Blythe, Allen. I'm missing someone. Ankrum. And then who did I leave out? Anyways, and maybe Denby. Jamil Denby still in the game. That's like we have 8 or 9 guys. So it's going to be a lot of fights for positions there. But I think Tremaine Ingram has a legit shot, and he could start like 2 years from now. At times it feels as though Donald gets triple teamed, and despite that, the other guys aren't getting to the QB consistently enough. Do you feel like the edge interior line has improved at all? In a way, Desmond, because I think that they improved from a run-stopping perspective. A'Shawn Robinson, yes. Leonard Floyd, more of a run stopper than a pass rusher, but he's good at dropping in the coverage. So you have Donald, but we're going to see, it's going to come down to Obo and Terrell Lewis. That's going to be our pressure outside of Donald. So I think the Rams feel good with that. And I think it's like we bought the car, we have to drive it. So we have to see how those guys are going to do. So I think the offensive line is different, maybe not as much pressure, but I do feel that Obo and Lewis will potentially combine for as many sacks as Dante Fowler. But I think it's more built for against the run. Ronnie Bell, what up? Man, Ronnie Bell, he and I go back like a long time, at least 2 years. So if anyone wasn't watching a little bit ago, hit 1,000 subscribers just this morning. And Ronnie Bell's been one a long time. So good to see you, Ronnie. So Note Boom. Note Boom. So Note Boom, I remember when Note Boom was a rookie and they played an exhibition against the Houston Texans. The Texans had their starters in for the first drive or two or first quarter. And Note Boom was in there. Note Boom had to go against J.J. Watt. He held his own. And ever since then, I was like, wow, this Note Boom guy. But then he didn't look great last year, and then he got injured. So what I've heard is that specifically offensive linemen, unless you're just like one of these alpha studs that gets drafted, offensive linemen usually take about 3 years to really click. So if he's healthy, if the knee is back and healthy, this is the year that it's got to click for Note Boom. And if it doesn't click this year, then might not click. So, but he's barely played. So, we have to see. Old dude, Deshaun Robinson will stuff the run. Yep. Yeah, he will. I think he's exactly who the Rams needed to get. Him and Brockers. Brockers is great against the run. Brockers came in a 4-3 as a DT. So him and Ashawn, Greg Gaines, Sebastian Joseph Day, like those are just a bunch of big dudes that will eat the run. Did I see the video of Ashawn Robinson picking up Zeke and literally Yeah. Like, sneaky under the radar move. Not see the pundits who just get like a list of talking points and then they have to start rattling things off that they don't know about. They're like, the Rams lost Todd Gurley and Brandon Cooks. How are they going to do? They can't be as good anymore. And it's like, well, those guys are names. They didn't perform well last year. Ashawn Robinson actually is a guy that will fit the defense, So, I'm just excited. I really want to see if the Rams' run defense is as good as I think it will be. So, left guard, David Edwards. Okay, old dude, do you think David Edwards is going to be left guard? I'm predicting Corbett or Note Boom. I think one of those guys is going to be left guard. I think Edwards will be right guard. And then it's going to be Evans versus Havenstein for right tackle. But then, it's crazy. We're predicting all this stuff now, and we're like so far away from having any kind of idea of how it's going to go. Who are my favorite Rams all time? Well, when I was a kid, it was the late 80s, and it was the Jim Everett, Flipper Anderson, Henry Ellard, Cleveland Gary, Kevin Green, Jackie Slater Rams. So I'm always fond, like Flipper Anderson, you're a kid, and there's a guy named Flipper Anderson who's a receiver. And I remember he had that game against the Niners, maybe I think Monday night, where he broke the all-time receiving yards. So like Flipper from old school and Jim Everett, of course, I love Jim Everett. And then and then when it was the St. Louis Rams, the 90s was just tough, right? So I don't know, it's probably like Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, then it transitioned to Steven Jackson. Like Steven Jackson was my favorite Ram when he was on the Rams. I like Marshall Faulk a lot, but he wasn't drafted by the Rams. So Torrey Holt was more of my guy. So I'd say like Flipper, Jim Everett, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. I'm not really mentioning any defensive guys. Steven Jackson and Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was my favorite Ram until like 2 months ago, which, that's football though, right? What about you, Burkhalter? Who are your favorite Rams all time? Also, Stan Kroenke. Stan Kroenke brought him back. He's got to be up there, right? This year in particular is a year of a lot of transition with the coaching staff. Combine that with the limited contact the pandemic has enforced. Do you see the Rams struggling early on? So interesting thing, all teams have to deal with pandemic. Many teams are dealing with new coaches. Some of them are dealing with new head coaches. So you see that with the Cowboys. First game, new head coach, new defensive coordinator, new special teams coordinator. You see that with Eagles pretty much have their guys. Bills pretty much have their guys. Fourth game is Giants. Giants have a new head coach, but doesn't matter too much, I don't think. It's the Giants. Redskins have a new head coach, new offensive coordinator. So you have a lot of teams dealing with this. But we're going to see which teams handled the virtual communication better than others. Which teams were flexible into this new school type of deal. So like the Rams, the new strength and conditioning coach, because Ted Rath is out. So the new guy, Justin Lovett, this is the guy who has pretty much the biggest impact at the beginning, because he's the guy that can be in contact with every player, because he's got a design personalized workout fitness regimen for every player. So usually when you see these guys in person, you walk by them and you're correcting them, you're showing them, you're working with them, but now you can't do that. So you have to you send something to them, they watch it, and then maybe you're FaceTiming with them and kind of looking to see if their form is right or whatever. So he's doing that for all of these guys. He's new, and then what is helping him is that the Rams staff as a whole divides up the players on the roster, and along with the strength and conditioning coach, they are reaching out to their group of players, just checking in about pandemic stuff. How are you doing? Did you remember to do this? Are you eating right? Do you have everything you need for this? So it's every player has a support group of the Rams that is really every day staying with them, whether it's working out, whether it's getting ready, mind ready, logistic stuff, all these things. So that's they have a support team. It's taking a village. So we'll just see. I don't know how other teams are approaching this, but I have a feeling that the Rams are very progressive in analytics and outreach. So we'll see. But I think at least the Rams have their head coach in place. So, I think that, even though they have a new offensive coordinator, they still have Shane Waldron and Aaron Kromer as their passing and their running game coordinators. So they have an offensive coordinator, a running game and offensive line coordinator, and then a passing game coordinator. And then they have someone who I think is the quarterback's coach. So they still have a lot of guys in place. Okay. But Desmond, another good question. Thank you. Sean, old dude, all good. I knew who I got that you were writing D Sean as in defense. So, I just went with it, but all good, man. Steven Jackson, don't get enough respect. That's for damn sure. And you put Steven Jackson on good teams you put him on the Packers of those, of the 2000s. Who were good teams that Patriots? You put them on Steelers, any of those good teams of the mid 2000s. And Steven Jackson's a surefire Hall of Famer, man. That guy got wrecked for nothing. I feel bad for Steven Jackson actually. Yeah, Havenstein should play right guard. Evans is more athletic, should take the right tackle position. Yeah, old dude, they're going to battle it out. Evans and Havenstein are going to battle it out. And that the coaches have been talking about, they're not ruling anything out. One could be here, move them around. And that's why Kromer chose Evans and Edwards, because they can play both inside and outside offensive line positions. So, I wish we had some training camps, that would be pretty amazing. Leonard Little, OJ Atogwe, Will Witherspoon on the good times. Whew. Don't forget Adam Archuleta. Will Witherspoon, man. I remember when they signed Will Witherspoon. OJ Atogwe, Ron Bartel. The good times. Wow. What about Jason Smith? Who was the big offensive tackle that they took from Florida State back then? Oh, God. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But if anyone knows, it was like the first round pick of in the 2000s. Kurt Warner, just because he played in Europe. Now it's AD because I play D-line myself, and he's just so surreal to watch. AD is just like, let's just enjoy Aaron Donald right now. Because what we've seen the last couple of years and what we'll see for the next couple of years is unlike anything we've ever seen, and he's a Ram. So let's just hope the Rams cash in on that. I have a soft spot in my heart for Kurt Warner as well. Yeah, interesting, though, that you took the Europe angle with that. I didn't even think about that. Do you remember when you played in Europe, like back in the day? Like, I don't know how old you are, but was that something you remember watching? And you played D-line? Damn, American football games in the Black Forest? I got to look into that. Anything, actually. I just need to look into, like, going for a brisk walk, right? Riding my bike more. I'll do that. I take that. Do we think we're going to have the same play action, quick pass, zone run scheme, or do you think O'Connell could improve it or add some more diversity to the offensive scheme? I think we're going to see different offensive schemes. The play action is only going to work if Akers and or Henderson are effective. And if the offensive line can buy a little time for Goff. Because those are all those plays all take time to develop. So if teams have to respect the run, then play action, of course. So question marks, sorry, just question marks there. And then there will be more diversity. We're going to see more, I think, percentages of 12 personnel. But like I said before, I think the Rams have so much offensive talent that they can really, like, they're potentially carry 4 tight ends. Crazy. So then if you still have 3 running backs with Malcolm Brown and Hendo and Cam Akers, you can do a lot there. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of flexibility, new stuff too. Saffold leaves. Havenstein can't handle it at right tackle. Yes, Saffold was that was like the glue that held it all together, much like Kobe Bryant was the glue of the world holding 2020 together. And when he left, it all went to hell. But yeah, Saffold. Looking back on it, Saffold over Dante Fowler. I would have done that. I would have kept Saffold over Dante Fowler looking back. The Rams have a much better season last year. That happens. Yo, what's up? Mike Lagunas, how are you, dude? Yeah, I'm just hanging out. 11 p.m. Guys, I probably got about like another 10 minutes in the tank here. But yeah, just trying to enjoy some summer while it's not too crazy where I am, but I just worry about all my friends and family in the States, and I know everyone will get through it. So, Mike, I hope you're doing well. Hang. Yeah, I know what you meant, old dude. I know what you meant. Nice up. McVay playbook has to be a little more versatile for Goff. I think he would excel in a Philip Rivers style offense. Rams have similar team to the Chargers off the pass. Yeah, I think one of the things that the Rams, what killed me the most about the Rams losing the Super Bowl was that McVay didn't change anything. I was sitting there screaming, run the ball, throw short passes, do what Brady's doing with Edelman, just throw the 5-yard pass. They're loading up the secondary to take away the deep pass. Like there was no middle of the field. It was all rushing in and DBs. Like linebackers were all coming in because the Rams weren't So to your point, I think that they need to. So O'Connell said something interesting. So when he took over play calling duties in Washington, and he had Dwayne Haskins, it was towards the end of the season, and the Redskins had an impressive win over, I can't remember who. Haskins had a good game. And they asked O'Connell why. And he said, and O'Connell used to be a quarterback, actually. He said the main thing for a quarterback is confidence. The best way to get confidence going is by just completing passes at the beginning. If you complete a 5, a 7, a 5, a 6, 10, if you're just completing these things, you're feeling good. Now you can start taking deeper shots, more intermediate shots. And those are the games when Dwayne Haskins played his best football of the year. So I think if Goff can, they don't have to just always go with these 15-yard, 11-yard concepts. Get the ball out. Because Goff was, 2 years ago, Goff held the ball longer than most quarterbacks. So I think, yeah, when you say in a Phillip Rivers style offense, what exactly was the Phillip Rivers style offense? I just don't know what that was compared to what the Rams are running. Oh, okay, damn, got a lot of comments here. I'll go through it. Nice up. Did you just subscribe? All right. Nice up is in the Rams, the Ramily now, the Rams Talk family. Good to have you on board, Nice up. I appreciate that. Thank you. Turn to Alex Barron, Michael Ling, Alex Barron. That is who I was talking about. Alex Barron. Whew. Old-time Rams, but like medium old-time Rams. But what's up, Renee? Amsterdam, if memory serves. What? Did I miss something, Renee? Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam. Yeah. And everything you hear about Amsterdam is true. Yep. Brooke Halda, 16. You play in Switzerland. Damn. Go across the border. Cool. Yeah. I've been to Switzerland actually a couple times last year for work. Yeah. Way to go, Switzerland. 16. Wow. Guys, we have right now this guy, Burkhalda, lives in Germany, 16 years old, plays football, American football in Switzerland, and is a Rams fan. That's what I'm talking about. You go like 20 years ago or like even 10 years ago, there aren't any Ram fans really anywhere outside of St. Louis and LA. So that's what I like to see. Nathaniel, I still remember rookie Ryan Fitzpatrick bringing us back from behind the win. Yeah, I remember that too. I keep seeing like random old videos on Twitter of some of these like random Rams highlights and Fitz magic back in the day. Yeah, I just love it when people call me out for like being a Rams fan all of a sudden. Since they've been back in LA, like, oh, you only started making videos 2 years ago. Coincidence? It's like, dude, does anyone here know who Jim Thomas is? Jim Thomas was the beat writer for the Rams for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I used to go to the website, which was like a terrible website that the newspaper for St. Louis really did not put money into the website, and read all of his articles, participate in the mailbag. I was all in it. So anyway, sorry, this was bringing me back to, you said Fitzpatrick was just being a Rams fan. The real question is, what blending of 11 and 12 will the Rams run? Since McVay's been here, the Rams have run 11 around 90% of the time, but after Higbee's breakout season. Exactly. And I think Higbee's breakout season made Cooks obsolete. Also, Cooks is one concussion away from potentially retiring. So, and 12 also just helped Goff. right? The Rams ran the ball better. Goff had that safety valve of Higbee. You know, how many times would you see Goff roll out and the throw across his body to Higbee just like 5 yards, 6 yards away? I would say the percentage next year will be just 11%. As 11 personnel will probably be around, I'd say 70%. But I will warn you that about 46.3% of all statistics are made up on the spot. McVay learned he needs to use more 12. Yeah, he totally did. So let's just hope that evolution keeps going. And O'Connell, I think O'Connell is going to zap him every time McVay gets away from it. He's going to have that shot collar. Okay, I need to have. They're going to have tons of tight ends. So they could put it. Okay, do you guys think the Rams are going to carry 4 tight ends? Higbee for sure. I think Munt for sure for blocking. Hopkins for sure. They just drafted him, and then Everett. Right? So I don't see the Rams just releasing Everett. I think they'd try at least get something for him. But do you see the Rams carrying 4 tight ends? I mean, that's a lot of tight ends. Hey, buddy, Gas. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. The Rams will go 10-6. I kind of have the Rams at 10-6. I feel 10-6 they're in the playoffs. If they do go 11-5, even better. Hey, buddy, Gas, thank you for the kind words. I really do appreciate that. I'm trying to get more of them out there. So I even mentioned this before, live streams leading up to the season. Are Saturday afternoons better for you guys, or Saturdays or Sundays? Pacific time, what works for you guys? Just pop it in there, let me know. Since I got 1,000 subscribers, I think I can post now more to the YouTube feed on your phone. So when you just go to the homepage, you'll see, and I might have some polls in there, or even on my Twitter page, polls that I can announce beforehand, what time slot works best for you guys, so we can all get in here and go through it. Kurt Warner played in Amsterdam. Yes, thank you. I was like, Amsterdam? I forgot to ask that question, but you're right. Goff runs at 4.8. I think O'Connell could add a read option in the scheme. Goff does great when he rolls out on a bootleg. When they get him on the run. I mean, remember that dime he dropped to Cooper Kupp against the Vikings? That was on the run. So, and moving the pocket, I noticed they did that a lot last year once Evans and Edwards came in. They used a lot of Goff rollouts to basically kind of help the offensive line, really. But I think he's good throwing on the run. So, he's actually scored some touchdowns with his legs too. So, I just don't want him to get hurt. I don't want him to go Bradford and just tear his knee up. Amsterdam's where Warner played. Yep, you're right, guys. Wow. Can you imagine just I don't know what denomination Christian Kurt Warner is, but we all know that he was very religious. Can you imagine playing in Amsterdam? Willpower. # willpower. There are many fans in Europe. Greetings from Frankfurt, Germany. Lorenz, I'm in Hanover. Greetings. Wie geht's? It's 11:10 for us. So, a lot of American football fans in Germany. It's grown. It's getting big, which is actually pretty cool. So I just need to find some Rams fans around where I live, and then we can watch games at 10 p.m. On the Sunday night. The Jim Thomas, Karan Duncan. I missed the Jim Thomas mailbags in St. Louis. Good stuff. Yeah. Does anyone here subscribe to The Athletic? If you don't, I suggest it. Rich Hammond and Jordan Rodriguez, they handle the Rams, and that's a great source of getting information. So The Athletic, that's good stuff. So at least Jim Thomas is covering, I think, the Blues and maybe the Cardinals. So, he didn't lose his job. Clearing Cook's contract off the books is big because now it gives us a chance to bring back Ramsey and Kupp. Yeah, and this is the year that we're taking that huge dead money hit. We're going to still take some the following year, but this year was the big year. So, restructuring AD's contract will help us for Ramsey, and then we'll see how we are with Kupp and what other moves we can make. But, it's crazy. You think the Rams are going to have 3 dudes making over 20 mil between Ramsey, Donald, and Goff. It's crazy. Hey, Desmond, of course. Yeah, great content for it to be free, but here's the deal. My whole life, growing up an LA Rams fan, in LA when the Rams were still in LA, then the Rams go to St. Louis. And when the Rams were in St. Louis and there was no internet, it was like 94. And even then when the internet came along, but you just weren't connected. So there was no social media, you didn't have smartphones, Twitter, none of this stuff. So you just feel like really alone. The Rams were crappy forever, had a little burst with the greatest show on turf and then back to crap. Second worst team in the 90s behind the Bengals. So you just feel like, man, are there any other Rams fans out there? Especially in LA now because the Rams have moved to St. Louis. It's kind of like you didn't want to be – it's like embarrassing to be a Rams fan, I'll be honest. But I was always just thinking about Rams all the time. And Tony Banks, Lawrence Phillips, all the time. And then when I thought about doing a YouTube channel, because I was what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, it's cobweb time right now. Almost 11:15 p.m. A buddy of mine has Lakers Talk, a YouTube channel, and I was inspired. And it's like, this is an outlet for me. Basically, I'm geeking out on this stuff all the time. And now I can connect with people who are also geeking out on it. And hopefully, what my point of view is something that resonates with people and that it's thought through. And so I'm really happy that everyone likes it. And all these questions I'm getting are from people who know what they're talking about and people who have felt this way, I feel, for a long time as well. So building up a community has been really everything. It's my life. Now I live in Germany. All my friends and family are back in the States. So this really is really where I'm putting a lot of my time and my head. So I'm just happy that everyone loves this and keep going. So also hit me up on Twitter and on YouTube and any of the comments and just let me know what you want me to talk about. And I'll dig into these things and have a video for you guys. But I appreciate it, guys. Okay, sorry, I jumped ahead. Nathaniel also hopped on YouTube, scrolled and found my live. Never heard of before, but just subscribed. Hey, yeah, you got it, Nathaniel. Awesome. I'm glad. I've been wanting to do a live stream for a long time, and since I just hit 1,000 subs, I felt compelled to just do it and say thank you to everyone. So I am more than happy to do this. But thank you for jumping on board. This is awesome. Do I stream every week? I got to turn it every time now. New favorite football channel. Thanks, Berkalda. I don't. I haven't streamed since the 2019 draft. So basically after the Super Bowl, I took a little time off, did the draft 2019, and then I moved last June. Life was crazy. I was commuting from Berlin to Hanover and didn't really have time. I think the Saints game was the last thing I did. And then I came back in the offseason around the draft. So I'm back. So I want to let's get live streams going. Let me know when everyone's around so we can all jump in this again. Yeah, I'm in Germany. It's 11:16 here. Yeah, Germany. Germany is pretty sweet. I have to be honest with you guys. One day we'll talk about the system here, but during the pandemic, it's been really great. Even if we lose, but I have the NFL Sunday ticket, So I was watching games, man. I was getting destroyed on Mondays. The Monday night or the Sunday night football games, I just couldn't watch live. That was like at 2 a.m. But the regular like home games at 1:30 on the West Coast start at 10:30, and so I was getting to sleep at around 2. Even when we lose Cup, we have drafted Jefferson as Cup insurance. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, Cooper Kupp is awesome, so I don't want to have to lose him. So it's hard to think of Cooper Kupp not being a Ram, and I think Jared Goff would be like, "Come on, guys, we have to keep Cooper Kupp." The athletic writers are awesome. I don't really pay attention to Lindsay from ESPN. She's not that good, just my opinion. Yeah, I don't want to trash Lindsay. I think Lindsay's good, but I don't think she goes in depth, like to like really getting in there, like really diving in. So and the athletic is good because you have to pay for it. But I think right now it's like it's a free trial. So everyone download the Athletic app and follow the Rams writers, Rich Hammond and Jordan Rodrigue. You can also follow them on Twitter, and that's the source of a lot of information. The Rams hold on, sorry. Brodnick, always love the Rams, just like you. Yeah, Brodnick, just you have it. You love the Rams, or you don't. Oh, Kanan. All right, everyone. Kanan Neitzel is here. He's in the chat room. He has a Rams channel on YouTube as well, and he's a big Rams fan from Wisconsin, I believe. He's a youngster. Everyone compared to me, I feel, is a youngster. And Kanan, remind me what your Rams channel is again in the comments, and I'll shout it out. But shout out to Kanan. Thank you for showing up. Oh yeah, the dark times. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it would have been easy for Renee, myself, anyone who was a Rams fan through the dark times to say like, you know what, I'm going to be a Chargers fan, or I'm going to be a insert trendy team, Patriots fan, whatever, right? That would have been easy. But it's weird. The Rams are the only team that I follow that have been like crappy most of the time I've known them. I grew up, Lakers and Dodgers, and they're always pretty good, right? So it's in your blood. And my dad was a Rams fan. That's how I got into it. He would take me to games at the Big A in Anaheim. So that's just how it was. Hold on a sec. Check this out. Pack this. This is an old school pennant. So I used to collect pennants back in the day. So this one, I gave them a lot away to friends that were fans of other team that I had pennants for. I was keeping this baby. Boom. Yeah. I'll put it back back there before my wife takes it down. Hey, AMS. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. AMS, the question 3, Berkalda. A lot of you out there, like, I just call you by your handle. So like AMS, I feel like AMS, you told me your name a while back. So feel free to drop your names in so I can actually call you by your real names, unless you just want to be anonymous handle people. But hey, good to see you, AMS. Karan, yes, the 90s and the post-2000s after playoff run were just brutal watch, man. Like, especially like when Sam Bradford goes down every time with an ACL, and you're like, oh God, Kellen Clemens for like the next 10 games. This is gonna be tough. Kellen Clemens for the next 10 games, and our offensive coordinator is Rob Boris. Like, this is just brutal. But still do it. Favorite Rams player, what made me a Rams fan? My dad made me a Rams fan. And also being in LA, it was between Rams and Raiders, but if your dad or your parent is a fan, you're going that way. And my favorite player, someone asked me this before, I'd say that's kind of tough, but I'd say Steven Jackson's right up there. Todd Gurley recently, Torrey Holt, Flipper Anderson, Jim Everett. It's kind of like, those are the guys right there, all of them. AD also right now. I mean, it's even though it's recent, AD is as amazing as a Ram as I've ever seen. What about you? The question 3. Adrian, you think Woods is gone? I don't know. See, Woods has a team-friendly contract, and he does everything. I think he's a perfect guy for this team. He's LA, USC, so since he's cheap, I think Woods is. We'll keep Woods, and also because Cup's contract is up next year. Rams have quite a few games at acceptable times next season. We fans in Europe can watch. Yeah. Any night game for like Pacific is I'm out. I mean, I don't know. So Burkhalda, you've heard of Kurzarbeit, right? So right now, I've Kurzarbeit on Mondays, which means I can just sleep in. Not really sleep in. I still have kids I got to deal with in the morning, but Kurzarbeit means you don't work that much because of the pandemic, but you still get paid a lot. So socialism. I can't believe Clowney is still out there. Yeah, I think people are realizing that the Jadeveon Clowney, the dude who made the Michigan player's helmet pop off, that Jadeveon Clowney is not the Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney is more of a run. He's a better, well-rounded defensive end, but not a sack artist. So he wants to get paid like someone who gets 15 sacks a year, but he doesn't get 15 sacks a year. If his name was like, I would honestly bang for buck. I'd rather have Everson Griffin. He'd be cheaper. And I think he provides a little bit more in terms of pass rush, right? But his name isn't Jadeveon Clowney. It's still crazy to think that Jadeveon Clowney's out there, but his price will come down. It has to. Still not sold on Goff. Okay, Giovanni Larios. Yeah, I'll tell you what. To me, this isn't so much a make or break year for Goff because no matter what, the Rams are married to him until 2022 because his contract is just. There's no way to get out of that. But he needs to put it together this year, right? Like good quarterbacks, top quarterbacks step up when they don't have everything. You go Russell Wilson. If you switch Russell Wilson to the Rams and Goff to the Seahawks win like 5 games and the Rams go to the Super Bowl. I'm just real talk on that. If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Rams, right? So Goff has to be the dude who can just handle it. No more babying him. I mean, the offensive line did not do him any favors last year, but like, come on, you have to play better. So if he has a 2018 year this year, we're good. So ultimately, the season comes down to Goff because good quarterbacks can make up for a lot of blemishes on the roster. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sold, but I think he's talented, and he just needs to like pull it all together. And hopefully, the coaching staff puts him in a better position, right? Yeah, thanks, Kanan. I appreciate that. What's the name of your Rams channel? Oh, did you change it? Okay, let's see here. Adrian. Yeah, we ain't blank with Goff at QB. Well, I mean, I don't know. Goff has done pretty well. 2017, 2018, played very well. And that Saints game in the playoffs, at the end, he came up with, when he was getting hit and just side slinging it out, he made some plays there. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, Kanan, you let me know what your Rams channel is. Next time we live stream, I'll have it ready, okay? No rush. Just get it good. Make sure it's tight. Bill. Okay, AMS is Bill. Hey, Bill. All right, Bill. That wasn't too hard. Welcome, Bill. Burke Halda. His name is Jonas. Like the Weezer song, huh? I'm sure you haven't heard that before, right? All right, Bill and Jonas. A Rams banner hanging up as a background. I like your nice white wall, but it's kind of plain. Spruce it up with a Rams helmet, a jersey or something. Yeah, no, you're totally right. So this is so we just moved into a new house, and or we just moved into a house, and this is a guest bedroom that we kind of just put stuff in, and my wife just wants to make it all nice and women's touch. I wanted to make this like Rams Talk studio, but anyone who's married out there, you know the deal. But yeah, I want to really have like a Rams Talk thing hanging. I have this. Sorry, this was pretty cool. My sister got this in Mexico for me. Old colors though. I think we can handle that. But yeah, I really want to like pick this place out, get some lighting, get better microphone equipment. When I edit videos, I want to like edit in some highlights and stuff. I really want to just up the whole production value of everything, right? And really turn this into a man cave. But women can't live with them, and they can't pee standing up. All right, Chucky, the question 3, Chucky. Okay, we have Bill, Jonas, Chucky. Okay, I got to write this down. But good to get all the real names here. Lorenz, I hate the night games, but when you sleep from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., it's possible to watch the games and you're able to go to the work the next morning. Okay. All right, so go to bed at 9, get 5 hours in, watch the game, go to work. Okay. All right, Lorenz, good, good tip. Usually my mind is like racing, thinking about it. And it's weird. Like sometimes I think I know that the game's happening. I'll wake up at like, 4:30 and just check the score. But on Mondays, I used to have to wake up at 5, a little after 5. So I would sometimes even catch part of the tail end of the game when I'd have to commute from Berlin to Hanover. So that wasn't too bad. Please don't bring up the Fisher years. Boris was bad. Like to me, Fisher's biggest problem was that so the personnel, not his fault, right? But the fact that he hired Rob Boris to be the offensive coordinator, and everything they did was a Tavon Austin handoff or end around or quick pass at the line of scrimmage, was just like they didn't go vertical at all. Nothing. It was so bad. And that was so frustrating, was like, Jeff Fisher, how can you not know this? That's the thing. When everyone is sitting there going like, how do you not know? Sean McVay in the Super Bowl, how do you not know? Jeff Fisher, how do you not know? Yeah. Go Rams. What's up, Mike? Okay, I'm way behind here. I'm gonna do lightning round here. What's up, Mike? All right. Jonas, damn, that's so cool. Wish I had ever off of Monday as well. You're still in school, Jonas. Okay. You're 16. Enjoy being 16. Okay. Don't grow up. It's like in Billy Madison. Don't stay here for as long as you can. All right. 16 is the sweet spot, man. 16? No, go to school. This summer is coming up. Actually, are you in school right now with the pandemic? You talked to Jack Youngblood after the Rams and Eagles game in '75. Rams kick a field goal with 3 seconds on the clock. What Rams player do you remember interacting with growing up? Oof. Well, I mean, I was a kid, and then the Rams moved to St. Louis. So, like, I didn't really interact with a Ram because they weren't gone, right? You know what I would love to do? Like, honestly, I would love to reach out to some of the Rams players now, like some of the, the not stars, the rookies, the second-year guys, like Austin Corbett, how many people are reaching out to Austin Corbett and saying, like, hey, let's have a 20-minute interview on my channel. So I would really like to get some of the not the most popular, well-known Rams, and I think they would be willing to talk or have a brief interview. So bring that to you guys. So I've yet to figure that out, but that's always been an idea of mine. Like Austin Blythe. Let's talk to Austin Blythe, right? Let's talk to David Long. Why not? Why wouldn't those guys want to talk? But that's cool that you got to talk to Jack Youngblood way back in the day. Oh, so Kanan is talking about the Rams on his main channel. Okay, well, if you want to let me know what your main channel is called, Kanan, is your name? We can go there and get some more Rams content. Goff is a pocket QB with protection. He took their team to the Super Bowl, 2 conference title games, won the division. Okay, Goff is fine. Yeah, I think last year was like, so we all know Goff has it. Like, I know it was one game, but I keep going back to that Vikings game in 2018. And that was like as beautiful as a game I've ever seen from a quarterback. It was just breathtaking. So he has it. He's capable, right? Last year's decision-making was not great. So he just needs to cut down on the turnovers. That's what games are won and lost in anyways. So the one that I'm commenting on is the one that I would like you to shout out. I just see your name, Kanan Riley Neitzel. All right, everyone, you see Kanan in the comments here. He's got a YouTube channel. Check it out. Sorry, Kanan. I mean, that's all I see right now. Giovanni, I'm kind of hyped for that tight end we picked up from Purdue. Yeah, me too. I mean, I think he's Gerald Everett 2.0. So I mean, like, he's just like a tall, big dude who can run, who's athletic. And so they talk about drops, but I don't think drops are going to be a big problem for him. Your favorite player, never wore a Rams uniform, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Victor Cruz. What made me a Rams fan is the fact that you're Dodgers and Lakers and Kings fan. They made me Team Los Angeles. Yeah, I mean, especially the Rams come back, you got to go Rams, right? Like, if you weren't a Rams fan, if you weren't didn't have a team, and then the Rams come back to LA, like, there's no other choice. There's no other choice. So, yeah, Randy Moss was sweet, man. I miss Randy Moss. Victor Cruz, though, it's a pretty random favorite player, but hey. But yeah, Dodgers, Lakers, and Rams, Kings, and that's me right there. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. Hey, I'm happy that the NBA is coming back because I kind of felt like, dude, after we just had 5 crap Lakers years, they finally are awesome again, and the season's taken away. The Dodgers get Mookie Betts, season taken away. So let's get these LA teams rolling again. What's up, Mike? Times of Goff did not like McVay's play call. Yeah, I mean, I think McVay just kept calling a lot of the same stuff. So that was, I feel those two are pretty tight though. I know it's hard to get a read on Goff though. The guy's just so very monotone, unflappable, which I kind of like. Sometimes you want him to be, spicy, but vanilla tastes good too. Right? I don't need sriracha on everything. Compare Jim Everett and Jared Goff. I find the beginning of their careers very similar, hot and cold. Yeah, I didn't know the beginning of Everett's career. I got in like the middle to end. Yeah. But Jim Everett, if it wasn't for the damn Niners back then, they would have been in the Super Bowl. Do the Rams really need a great O-line? They don't need a great O-line. They need a functional O-line, right? Because, I mean, last year, how many times you see Gurley getting hit behind the line of scrimmage? So I think that like I said, the O-line doesn't need to be top 5, top 15. Be top 15. Don't be. Last year they were the 30th or 31st team by PFF. So if they just go 15 slots up, that's a huge improvement, but it's still not like cream of the crop. So I'll take that. I just want to see improvement. I want to see consistency. Martin Miles. What's up, Martin Miles? What are your thoughts on the tight ends? I think we need to get them involved more. 100% agree. We're going to see a lot more 12 personnel, and I feel like we could have 4 on the roster. If we have 4 on the roster, we're using them a lot. However, I'm sure having 4 on the roster, those guys will be in special teams. So, yeah, that'll be – we're going to see a lot more 12, and I think with Van, Jefferson, and the receivers and the 3 running backs and the 4 tight ends, I mean, that's just a lot of pieces that they can mix and match. So I think it's going to open the playbook more. I had a few off weeks, but I have to go back in a week. All right, well, reconnecting. Well, dude, hey, enjoy these off weeks, man. To be young and in school. Fisher years, he had to hire Boris because no good offensive coordinator wanted to work for Fish because they knew he would limit what they could do, so nobody wanted to talk to him, but that falls on Fish himself. Yeah, when you remember when they hired Fisher and we were so happy because we were coming off of Linehan and Spags, and we're like, oh, thank Martz, Linehan, Spags, and we're like, oh, Jeff Fisher, right? I mean, and like, who knows? Because Sam Bradford got injured all the time. Like, if Sam Bradford's healthy all the time, then things are going to be different. But yeah, no, you're right. Hey, thanks, Borotnik. I appreciate that. Is Jared Goff Eli Manning Esquire? No. In terms of the facial expression, maybe. Although I feel Eli Manning was more of an open mouth breather, right? But Jared Goff, I think, is more talented, to be honest. Everett had it ED at the beginning, right? Yeah. What's my favorite German dish? Ooh, that's a loaded question, man. Well, there's a place in Hanover that has currywurst that is with pommes, so with fries. Then it's like that specific one is amazing. But Schweinebraten, which is just like a pork loin kind of thing with a gravy and like these potato dumpling balls with like a crouton in the middle. Also, one of the best German dishes isn't even a German dish; it's a Turkish dish. It's the doner. It's like the meat and like a gyro kind of thing, and those are amazing. Although we have a couple guys here one from Frankfurt, one from the Black Forest, who I'm pretty sure enjoy some different German cuisine. But I'm eating bread, like it's bread. Everything here is bread. Okay, bread. But beer is awesome, dude. Beer is super cheap, and there's like a million brands, and it's all regional. So in here in Hanover, we've got Gilda and we have Harry, and like those are super cheap and they're local, and it's good. But like chocolates, gummies, yogurts, meat. I made tacos tonight though, kind of random. I think Rams will do well this season. We are underdogs and not many people see us doing good, but I disagree. I agree with you, Giovanni. Like, we're flying under the radar right now and getting a lot of disrespect, and I think the Rams sense it. So that's cool. I'll take it. Goff drops dimes when he has time, and Goff's play really improved last year when the Rams went to 12. Now that they're expected to use more 12, and with the years of line development, Goff will bounce back. I agree. So that's why I'm saying, like, he has to. Like, with those things in mind, Renee, I think he has to. Like, if he has another down year, but you have these other things in place, then, like, he just needs to be more accurate. He just has to hit some guys when he should. And if he last year just connected on those passes with wide open guys, it would have been a game changer. But it's also turnovers, just making better decisions. Do you think Clay Johnson is a poor man's Luke Kuechly? No, I think he's not as, like, I think Kuechly's bigger and better run diagnoser. I have to watch more on Clay Johnson, but I feel like he's a little quicker, more athletic. You know, so you have like your Corey Littletons versus your Micah Kaisers. So I think Clay Johnson is a little more speedy, more rangy. Does drafting Cam Akers show lack of trust in Darrell Henderson and Malcolm Brown? Also, what about John Kelly? You know, I never really felt John Kelly. I'm sorry, John, but I just never really felt John Kelly. I didn't think he had anything too unique. Darrell Henderson, I don't think it's a lack of trust in Darrell Henderson or Malcolm Brown, but I feel that Darrell Henderson or Malcolm Brown are not lead backs. I think I look at it more as like Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson with a splash of Malcolm Brown. It could be of what like an Ingram and Kamara could be, with Akers being the Ingram and Hendo being the Kamara in terms of the dynamic, which would be great. I'm getting behind on here. I think Akers will pay off. He's definitely a workhorse. Yeah, I think Akers is going to be sweet. I'm really excited to watch him play. Akers as the Rams noticing what the 49ers are doing, excellent RB output, and since none of their RBs are putting up big numbers, they're all affordable, which allows, yeah. I mean, Akers is going to be good. I think we nailed that one. We made a bad decision of getting rid of Gurley this season. I think we could have held him one more year for the dead cap space and for the benefit of Akers and Henderson. Yeah, Martin, that's interesting. I didn't think they were going to do anything with Gurley this year, but I think them getting rid of Gurley really, what it tells me is like they just didn't trust his knee. I didn't think he looked bad last year. He was getting hit behind the line all the time, but obviously the team knew what was going on. Like in retrospect, like it all makes sense. And I thought we would hold on to him for one more year at least. And Cooks, I thought we would hold on to just because of the dead cap. Like to me, I was like, there's no way they just burned that money. And they did. But they got Van Jefferson out of it. So like that minimizes that. But still, like contractually, money-wise, those are tough pills to swallow. I mean, if we've learned anything, it's like just don't give guys extensions before they need it. Cup and Woods still elite receivers. I think it is so many people putting Arizona ahead of the Rams in the division so prematurely. Cole, I completely agree. I mean, Arizona did not improve their offensive line really. And, you know, Kyler's still going to be running for his life. We played them. We're going to have Jalen on Hopkins, just like the good old Texans-Jags days. So, you know, it's going to be a tough matchup for us, but, you know, they've got to make a big leap in that division. So I don't see them doing it. I see them being better, but I don't see them being better than the Rams. My assessment of the new coordinators, I really don't know, to be honest, because – I mean, whereas the defensive coordinator likes versatility, I'm hoping he brings consistency. He's coached Leonard Floyd before, so maybe he can, milk him for a little more. But it's hard to really say. The offensive coordinator, I think, if anything, he's just a good extra voice in the room and to help McVay. And so time will tell with that because, last year I don't feel like the Rams really had an offensive or defensive identity. So hopefully they forge one at the beginning of the year. Sorry, that wasn't really – I didn't have many specifics there, but it's hard to say. Yeah, and a lot of their losses were close. I mean, they had those 3 blowouts and 1 play away from victory, and they lost that one to the Niners because of the blown coverage. So, and if the expanded playoff format was last year, they would have been in. And if they made that field goal, they would have been in. And Malcolm Brown is underrated as a running back. I agree. Like, every time he's in there, he does well. I mean, he against Carolina, he was putting out some moves, and he and Gurley were awesome pass blockers. Awesome. So, I like Malcolm Brown. I really do. But a running back's going to get injured a little bit here and there, so it's good to have those 3. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up pretty quick. Don't send any more questions in, man. I'm dying here. I got to go to bed. It's almost midnight. Let's see here. The team spends salary cap dollars on other more important players like Donald, Ramsey, Goff, Cup, and soon Woods too. Well, I mean, Woods is locked. We got Woods for this year and I think next year. So we have him for 2 years. So Woods he's making – his contract is amazing. So he'll be gone when his contract is up, I believe, unless he takes a player-friendly deal. Or who knows what happens 2 years down the road with other things. Do I plan on going to see a Rams game at SoFi? Well, I really want to go back to the States this year if I can. I was supposed to go to the States in March for work and then also – swing by my folks and friends, but Corona. So if the Corona is dying down, then I most definitely will be in LA for like a month because Germany. Hey, guys, Germans on this message board, don't say anything. But non-Germans, take a guess how many vacation days I get. Take a guess. It's going to blow your minds. 30 vacation days. I haven't even taken one yet. Nope, not 7, not 25, 30. And I'm working short time now because of Corona. So this whole year's a vacation. It's amazing. So I can take a freaking, anytime someone in America wants to say socialism is bad, I am telling you, healthcare gets taken out of my paycheck. So I just go to a doctor. No copay, no bill. I just go. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to talk to insurance companies. It's like the easiest thing ever. Okay? Same with my kids. I went to go pick up a prescription. It was like waiting to pay. I'm like, how much? I'm like, no, just take it. Right? 30 vacation days. So, it's, I run social media for Sennheiser. Does anyone know who Sennheiser is? They make microphones and headphones. So, I do their social media and digital marketing stuff. So, that's why, also why I would love to do more RAM stuff, but I'm doing digital social media stuff all day. And then I'm like, oh man, I gotta post post more stuff. So, Sennheiser, it's a great company, but the German system is so different. And so I was mentioning to some guys at the beginning of the show that because of the pandemic and everything, they put everyone on what's called short work. So basically you work 60% of, so basically instead of laying everyone off and companies suffering and people suffering and the government suffering, basically I work 60%, so 3 days a week, but I get paid 87% of my salary, which is paid, the extra 27 is paid by the government. And so I only make 13% less, but only work 3 days a week. So I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off all the time until probably the end of the year. Yeah, it is very interesting. Sorry, that was a detour. But like when people say socialism's terrible, yes, there aren't things that are like the States. I will say that. But like, I am not freaking out about losing my job or being covered with healthcare, and I have 30 vacation days. So, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you, Renee. I will go to sleep. Manuel, sorry, I just want to get to these real quick. I think Jefferson's going to be nasty. He's smooth, and I can't wait to see him play. He was the fastest player on the field at the Senior Bowl, so I think he's still pretty fast. I don't think I don't think their lack of speed is what people are making them out to be. Because if you can create separation and your route running is great, then you don't need to be super vertical, right? If you can just create separation. Separation is not just running past someone, it's getting off the line and getting the inside edge on them or juking them with your routes. So thank you, Renee. I will go to sleep, sir. Boyzon Igran. Hello. Hi. Welcome. Sorry, I'm about to go, Boyzon. Do I plan to watch the debate between Nick Gurr and Mike Oxmal? Who are they? I'm sorry, I don't know. The YouTube channel is Hollywood Hills Sports Talk. Hollywood Hills Sports Talk. All right. Everyone check out Hollywood Hills Sports Talk. Whoa. Xavier Jones will take Brown's place. Malcolm Brown? Oh, the running back, Xavier Jones. Ha! Listen, see Araceli Correa? He goes by Baradnik, and he all about the undrafted free agents. I'll get to that. You think Xavier Jones is going to take Malcolm Brown? I mean, that's interesting. Where did he go? SMU, right? All right, we'll talk about that. People are, Josh Reynolds, guy played great when he replaced an injured Woods in 2017, an injured Cup in 2018, and injured Cooks in 2019. Reynolds is good. No, I'm a Reynolds fan. I like him. I remember when they drafted him, went out of Texas A&M, and he was like the footage of him. He was burning guys and catching passes down the sideline. So, yeah, J. Ray. I'm down with J. Ray. So, I mean, it's just like we're talking about it, which is great. But like, let's just see this already. Come on. So much time left, but I'm losing my voice, guys. I want to thank everyone for watching. You know what? Turn on your alerts. And follow me on Twitter, because right now I still can't ask questions and polls on my YouTube channel because I just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I know takes a little while to flip the switch for certain functionality. So follow me on Twitter. Follow me at Real LA Ramsock, and let's do some more live streams. Let's do every weekend if you guys are down. So just let me know what you think. Give me some topics. I'm gonna start dropping some. Try to do a video a week. So probably one mid next week, and then we'll just take it from there. But Bill, thank you. Dan, the Ram fan, they got me. Who's they? Hell yeah, Giovanni Larios. Man, my adrenaline's going. But I'll still pass out right now. I've got 2 young kids. I go to sleep like this. I have got no problems with that. I'll be done. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for joining, for watching, for subscribing, for being part of the community. Stay safe out there, especially if you're in the States. If you're in Europe, go to bed. Stop playing video games, Jonas. And all right, I'm going to sign off, everyone. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And we'll talk soon. And until then, go Rams. Carl by the ton. Go Rams, Carl by the ton.